When you think of mummies, what comes to mind? Ancient Egyptian tombs, pharaohs preserved for eternity under layers of linen, perhaps those spooky tales of curses lurking in the darkened sands of history? But what if I told you that the story of mummies is far darker, far stranger than the legends we've grown up with? Let's rewind to ancient Egypt, a society of breathtaking innovation, where death was seen not as an end, but a transformation. Mummification was a sacred process, a symbolic act of guiding the soul into the afterlife. But while the Egyptians treated their mummies with divine respect, centuries later, foreign hands would disturb their peace in far more sinister ways. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, where belief in the mystical properties of mummified flesh transformed these preserved bodies into a gruesome commodity. Mumia, powdered mummy, became highly sought after in Europe, marketed as a cure-all in medicine and apothecaries. Have a headache? Sprinkle a little mummy dust. Stomach ache? Mummy powder might do the trick. Entire mummies were ground up and sold for medicinal purposes, often fetching exorbitant prices. But here's the kicker. Some of what was labeled mummy powder wasn't even from Egypt. Counterfeits from dried bodies of criminals or plague victims were passed off under the same name. Yes, people consumed flesh from the dead, trusting it would make them whole. During the Victorian era, the fascination with ancient Egypt took an even darker turn. Mummy unwrapping parties became a disturbingly popular event among the upper class. Guests gathered in lavish salons, sipping champagne, while archaeologists unwrapped mummies before their eyes, turning sacred relics into entertainment. Imagine the hushed whispers mingling with the crackle of ancient linen. What secrets lay beneath those layers? What were they hoping to find? And yet, the horrors persist into modern times. In the 19th century, mummy remains were not only used for medicine, but for industry as well. Pulverized mummies were mixed into paint, creating the infamous pigment known as mummy brown. Artists cherished its earthy tone, but few seemed to question its macabre origin. Perhaps worse still, mummies were even burned as fuel. That's right. Railways in 19th century Egypt reportedly used ancient remains to smelt ironworks. Hundreds of years of history turned to ash. Today, museums and archaeologists grapple with the troubling legacy of mummies. They are symbols of human ingenuity, sacred rituals, and belief in the eternal. But they have also endured centuries of desecration, sold, broken apart, consumed, and exploited. And so the next time your thoughts drift to mummies, remember this. Beneath the linen wraps lies not only an ancient soul, but a cautionary tale, one of human curiosity, greed, and careless consumption. History, after all, isn't always kind to the dead.